How are women excluded from making money in the West?
Why are you saying in the West?
Because this is what we're talking about. This patriarchal structure is obviously social, political, and economic to this country.
I would argue that. Wait, I would argue that the patriarchy is global. So then you would be acknowledging that there are areas where women are prohibited from making money because of the patriarchy.
Yeah, it's called under ideologies like Islam and other things.
And Christianity as well. So women are typically hindered when it comes to making. Shut up. Women are typically hindered when it comes to making money in a couple of different ways socially. One of the barriers towards consistent or high earning employment is parenthood. Because women are typically seen as the primary caregiver of children. Women also typically have to take time off for pregnancy and childbirth, which does inhibit their ability to earn or participate in paid labor. Another one is the stigma towards gender, that women are seen as inferior to men when it comes to production or capabilities or competency.
So so you're telling me now that biology is part of the patriarchy, and it's
no, that's not a biological. No, that's not bio. Are you talking about pregnancy?
Pregnancy is biological.
I mean, I would say it's physiological, but sure.
What are you talking? Oh my! Really?
Yeah.
It's not physiological, biological, same dang thing.
It's really not, but okay.
What? No, tell me how it's different.
Biology and physiology. Physiology typically has to do with like actions of the body and how the body functions.
Okay, let's just make it simple. Women biologically have children. There you go.
Sure, women have the capacity for pregnancy, yes. And yes, that creates hindrance under capitalism.
That has nothing to do with capitalism. Capitalism has to do with earning, making your money. There's no patriarchy keeping you from making any money. Credit cards work the same for everybody.
There is.
Interest works the same. No, interest, credit, all that works the same for you as it does for me. I don't get special interest rates because I'm a patriarchal. I don't get special checking accounts because I'm patriarchal.
That's not the standard. Actually, shut up. There is evidence that women actually do have higher interest than men when it comes to mortgages, even though they have lower debt to income ratios, lower credit. What?
You pay higher interest because you have better credit ratings. That's why you pay higher interest.
Better credit ratings.
Better like Michael Jackson.
You pay more interest because you have better credit ratings.
Well, worse credit, whatever.
Despite having higher interest, lower income.
You might have better credit than the other guy.
Shut up! I'm talking!
Now that word's in context.
Shut up! I'm talking! Despite having higher interest rates, lower incomes, and larger debt loads, women are less likely to default on their mortgages compared to men. So yeah, women do typically have higher interest rates.
There's your evidence for patriarchal oppression. You don't even default on your loans. Wow.
Well, that wasn't the point I was making. Do you recognize? Oh, okay. Did you actually want to engage in the argument that I made?
No, you're throwing all this BS at me.
No, I'm not. I literally gave you two arguments.
Now you're telling me that money is sexist. You're telling me that money and interest in numbers are sexist.
You brought up that argument. You brought up that argument, numbnuts, not me. I give you two arguments. Where that because of women's capacity. Shut up! I'm talking!
You tell me there's
women's capacity. Shut up! I'm talking! It's not your fucking turn! Two arguments. Write them down. One. Because of women's social responsibility and gender role to be the primary caregiver that prevents them from participating in paid labor or advancing under capitalism. Two, because of the construction of gender, women are seen as incompetent, less capable, or less productive than men. Engage in those two.
You tell me now your biology is oppressive, and it has everything to do with capitalism.
Yes, capitalism does not serve women. Yes.
How? How is it supposed to serve you?
I just told you!
So everybody's supposed to serve you.
Do you recognize that someone who has to take time off to have children and to heal and to care for said children cannot participate in the economy?
Oh, wow. Wait, that's the obvious.
Great. So they're taking a pay cut to have babies.
No, they're not. They're just not earning it.
That is something that men don't have to do.
Well, that's because it's biology.
No shit.
biology
why
depresses now.
capitalism has different outcomes for men than it does for women. And why
Capitalism
women
is just
don't make
capitalism, man.
as much money.
Money is just money.
Good
There's
job.
no ideology behind it.
Brain cells
There's no
are just
sex
brain
behind it.
cells. Go find some.
There's no sex behind money. Money doesn't, the green money in my hand doesn't say, you know what? I'm going to get sexist today. And I'm going to freaking oppress these women because they're
It's
women.
not the inanimate
My interest
object,
hates you.
you stupid fuck.
Can you
It
tell
is
me
the
what?
structure and system in place put in by other stupid
What
fucks
system?
like you.
What system?
Hero, what does the green money in your hand say?
Capitalism.
What does the green
It
money in
is
your
a-
hand say, Hero? If it doesn't say that, what does it say?
It is, all it says is it's an equivalent to labor earned. It is called stored labor.
And
That's not
does the
true.
green money often speak to you?
Dude.
Do you speak?
And capitalism oppresses you because you have children.
Yes, capitalism is an oppressive system in general. Yes. But yes,
How?
children are, stop talking. Children are barriers for people participating in paid labor.
Yes, you get paid for your labor.
Yes. What?
That's right. And because you have a baby, you took an act in having sex and having labor, and you have to take time off of that, so you're not getting paid while you're at work because you're not working. It's that simple.
You are working. You are working. Reproductive.
Are you working?
Reproductive labor. Shut up. I'm answering. You ask a question. I answer it. You stop talking. That's how this works. Reproductive labor is labor.
Who's labor?
The person who's pregnant.
Pregnant.
Yeah, it's your labor. It's your personal own labor. Pay yourself.
Can you
Do you
answer
think,
this?
wait,
Go ahead,
wait,
Kenzie.
wait,
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
second. Does the economy need people?
I was just about to go there. Thank you, Kenzie.
Yes and no.
Wait, so I'm sorry. It's either
Does it
yes
need people?
or no.
Did you need to have a baby?
Shut up! Answer my question. Does the economy need people?
No.
Will you
No, I don't
engage?
need no people.
Will you engage for real for a fucking second?
I am engaging
No,
you.
you're not. So wait, I'm sorry. The economy doesn't need people. Then how does the economy work?
I don't know where this is relevant to where you had a baby.
I will make
so
my
the economy
point.
should pay you.
I will make my point.
I don't
Answer
know where
the
this comes in,
question.
that everybody owes you.
Well,
People don't
Shut
owe
up.
you anything.
Answer my question. Shut up. Answer my question. You know what? I'll answer it for you. The economy needs people. Where do people come from?
If
Your
you say
crotch.
shorts.
Very good. So I have a product that is necessary to the economy.
Oh, so you should be paid for your product now.
You should be paid for your labor.
Yes.
Children are a product, and yeah, that's not fascist at all.
Laborers are a product of the economy. That's not
It's your own doing here.
crazy take.
It's your own deal. It's
It is
biological. You can't
society's, you
change it.
idiot. You idiot. When you, like 5 years from now, when you can't wipe your own ass, there is going to be someone that that's probably true now, that needs to take care of you.
No shit.
You need society in order to function.
And
So
what
yes,
does it have to do with you getting paid more for labor?
it's
for
not
less
getting
labor?
paid more. Shut up.
getting
It's not
paid,
about getting
period.
paid more, you moron. It's about getting paid for labor. Why do you think that the most successful countries under capitalism have paid maternity leave?
Why should I pay you to have a kid?
Shut up and answer the question. Why do you think the most developed nations on this earth have paid maternity leave?
Which ones?
Scandinavian countries, Europe, Canada, pretty much everyone but the fucking United States,
Yeah,
Japan.
it's dumb.
It's not dumb because guess what?
Why should you get paid to not
shut
work?
up, shut up. Because guess what? Those are future taxpayers. So they make an
So?
investment. Shut up. They make an investment so that people have children and raise them because they are needed to keep the economy going.
So I should pay more taxes to get people to pay more taxes.
I am anti-capitalist, but I am showing you how labor, reproductive labor, is a necessity under capitalism, and it's not paid in the United
It's a
States.
necessity everywhere on the planet.
Correct. So if you recognize it as a necessity,
And that's
and it was
nothing to do with capitalism.
God, you're so fucking stupid. If it's a necessity for our existence to continue, why would you not want people to be paid for participating in that labor?
Did you pay him 1,000 years ago?
My God. You weren't
Human
on
race
this
is still
phone
here,
1,000 years ago, you fucking moron.
What's that?
There are a lot of things that didn't happen 1,000 years ago that happens now.
You know what, man? You know what, man? I think I should get paid.
What is the
because I have a
point
penis.
of you asking that question?
Of course you
if
do.
there are a lot of
That's where
things
your brain
that happened
is.
1,000 that doesn't happen now,
Oh, God.
or that happens now that did not happen
Oh,
1,000
man.
years ago.
You know, I can't wait till we get paid to have tattoos. I'll just get them all over my body.
You know what? Wait, Hero. Don't be a fucking moron and continue to step in shit like every 3 seconds. For you to say having a dick or getting a tattoo is equivalent to the labor, either mental, emotional, or physical, that women and parents go through raising and giving birth to children is laughable.
Well, you can decide to not have kids. That's your own choice.
Great. So then society in general decides not to have children. Then what?
It's never not going to happen.
Then why
Ever.
bring up that point?
Wait, tell me. Then what?
My point
then
is
what
because
happens?
you think you should get paid.
Wait. Shut up.
To have a
It is
kid.
happening. Shut up. It is happening. People are opting out of of having children and families because it's too expensive. So guess what? You know what? We even saw this, I believe, in China, where they have a desperate need for people to take care of the elderly. But there are no young people available to participate in the caregiving industry.
Yeah, that's
So-
because they started the fucking abortion and fucking limiting
It's not
babies.
abortion,
That's all the fuck they
moron!
wanna do.
Oh my
Well,
God.
why is
You know
that?
what? I don't know how
Softer,
you
Adrian.
have lived to 50. I really question that you can find your way
You
out
know
of a
how I
fucking
lived to
paper
50?
bag. No. I really wonder how
Kenzie,
you
he
crossed
lived
the
to 50
street.
because he had a woman to take care of him. That's it.
Like,
Well, until
like,
she
I-
left with a better choice, which was
Yeah, she's probably sick of wiping his ass for
Who
him.
is that?
He
Who?
really-
No. Tell me, why do people just owe you because you exist?
It's not, did you hear me? It's not owing anyone
I'm hearing
because
you very
they
clear.
shut up! You asked me a question, I'm answering! I don't know why you say, because that's not my argument in any way. Because I exist, I deserve money. I'm
That's what you're
saying
saying.
that when people participate in labor, they should be paid for said labor. And reproductive labor and childcare is labor, regardless if it is your children or not. That is labor. And because we live under a system of shut up! Because we live under the system of capitalism where that is not recognized as labor, women suffer economically because of that.
They suffer economically because of that.
Yes. Yes.
So now it's the economy's
God.
fault? Now it's the economy's fault you have babies.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I can't believe that you're saying just because I am a woman, I deserve money.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because I am a woman, the choices that I make in my life have different financial outcomes than when men make those same choices. When men choose to become, when men choose to become parents, they do not suffer economically as women do when they choose to become parents. Tell me how that is fair, sir.
That's biology.
Tell me how it's fair. Don't tell me it's biology. Tell me how it's fair.
It's completely fair.
How? When we have two different outcomes where mine is worse,
Now
only
you're telling me
because
that
of my
no,
gender.
Because you're a woman, and you're biologically a woman and you have a baby, it's just unfair that you exist and that's what you do?
Dude, I don't know how you do. Like, I'm not saying complex or big words. I asked you, when a man chooses to become a parent, he's making the same fucking choice. Becoming a parent. He does not suffer disadvantages economically like women do. Shouldn't
think he does?
Shouldn't us making the same choice have the same outcome?
No,
Why?
because nobody is entitled to the same outcome as somebody else for their labors and what they do.
I give you the example. Men choose.
We're talking
Shut
about
up!
economics.
Shut up! Men choose to become parents. Women choose to become parents. They have different outcomes. You're like, okay with me. Men choose to murder people. Women choose to murder people. They have different outcomes. And you're like, nope, not okay. Tell me why.
I never said that it wasn't okay they didn't have different outcomes.
You did!
But it's not the same. It's economics we were talking. That's the topic. It's completely different.
Then your logic is garbage.
I'm not saying if one woman gets her arm chopped off, then you got to go chop off a man's too.
But it's not. That's not the logic. Like you can't even follow your own logic. That's how stupid you are. That is literally how stupid you are. You make what you think is a logical.
Completely out of context in a false hypothetical.
I put your logic in a different context to show you that your logic is sexist.
How is my logic sexist that you're a woman, you have a baby, and I refuse to pay you for what you did in your own act of sex?
It is sexist because you're saying, like, you shut up. I'm answering your damn questions. Shut the fuck up. It is sexist because I asked you straight up. Men make the choice to become a parent. Women make the choice to become a parent, and women suffer economically. How is that fair? And you're like, it is what it is. You're not guaranteed the same outcome. Shut up! You're not guaranteed the same outcome. And I just put that logic in a different setting, and now you're like, well, no, that's not fair.
No one's guaranteed the same outcome of anything.
Right. So I think, and you should agree with me, that when men murder people, we should give them the death penalty. And when women murder people, we should just throw them in jail for a year.
No.
Why not? Like, we shouldn't guarantee them the same outcome.
It's working and killing. It's completely different.
It is your logic, my guy.
No, it's not. There's no logic about that at all.
Exactly. That's why it's bad.
Well, your argument has zero logic to it. It's what's called a false.
This is your logic. Do you understand that? This is your logic.
Not my logic. Not my logic.
Can you tell me the difference between equality? Wait, shut up.
Can
you tell me the difference?
Just pay women to have kids. We should just pay you.
Yes, because I think women. Shut up. You asked a question. You asked a question. Shut up.
The men just owe women.
Shut up. You asked a question, and I'm going to answer it.
We just give you our labor, and you're entitled to it.
Shut up. Yes.
I wonder how women should be paid. Hey, your new owners are women now.
Women should be paid for their reproductive and caregiving labor.
Of slavery, so men can't own slaves. Now women can. They can own them now.
That's why the most developed countries in the world do it, because they recognize the benefit of parents taking care of their kids. Let me ask you a question, Hero. Let me ask you a fucking question. If some woman got a lobotomy and decided to marry you and have your children and then died, how much do you think it would cost you to outsource all of the work she was doing?
Don't even put that out in the world, Kenzie. How dare you?
It cost me nothing. It cost me the same as it always does.
Shut up. So if your wife, who is taking care of your children, taking care of the home, cleaning, cooking, chauffeuring, doing laundry, meal planning, grocery shopping, if she died, how much would you pay to outsource all of that labor?
Dear, this happens all the time.
Great. So answer the question.
But why would I pay to outsource the labor?
Can you answer the question?
There's no point in that question.
Okay,
there is. Who would take care of your children, dummy?
Right, okay.
Me.
There's no point in the question. Great. Still,
like I already do.
You? Well, wait. Who's going to take care of them when you go to work?
I pay for daycare.
Oh, how much does that cost?
Nothing.
Daycare costs nothing?
Nope.
Where?
Oh, church.
Church. So
nice.
Church.
The local church, they do it.
So
nice.
You're going, wait. Let me get this straight. You think you're entitled to someone else's labor for free?
I never thought I was entitled. They offered.
Let's say they didn't offer, and you had to pay. Wait. Let's just say that you had to pay for daycare. How much would you pay?
Now, what's the point? So you're saying that you should be paid to take your... No, listen to me.
Here's the point, you fucking moron. Shut up. Here's the point. You asked me what the point is. Let me tell you what the point is. The point is that
you want to be paid to take care of your own kid?
When women's labor is outsourced, it has high economic value. In order to sustain the level of care and labor that was provided, given that your lobotomized wife died, you would have to hire a chauffeur, a chef, a maid, an organizer, a nanny, and you wouldn't be able to fucking afford it. So yes,
how would I have to do that?
That labor actually has economic value, and yes, women should be entitled to that economic value.
So you want to be entitled because you had a kid. So you want somebody to pay you to raise your own kid.
Yes.
Do you still have to work?
If you're married, one of you works.
Oh.
It's not entitled. Wait. Let me use the
married.
correct word. I should be compensated for my labor. Yes.
It's labor that you brought upon yourself by having a child.
Like having a job.
No one made you have a child.
Labor, every labor you bring upon yourself if you're doing something that you're going to get paid for. If you go and do whatever you do, you brought it upon yourself. That's an irrelevant point.
No, I go get a job because I went to go get a job.
Right, so you put it up on yourself.
I had a kid because we wanted to have a kid.
Wait, why don't you just go live in the woods?
You're not understanding.
Wait, shut up, Hero, shut up. Hero, why don't you just go live in the woods?
Oh, man.
Well, he might.
No, really. Why do you need a... Wait, Hero, why do you need a house? Hero, shut up. Why do you need a house?
Own kid.
Hero, shut up. Why do you need a house?
Why don't you just turn your kid over to the state then?
Shut up. Why do you need a house?
Why does anybody need a house?
Why do you need a house? Why don't you just go live in the woods and sleep under the stars?
You live in it.
Is that a basic... Wait, I'm sorry. Is it a basic necessity?
I don't know.
I mean, why should people build houses? Why should people build houses just because you decided you wanted shelter?
Because I paid them for it.
I don't. Yeah.
Why don't you just go live in the woods, and then you don't have to pay them for it, and then they don't have to do the labor.
Like living in the woods, I'd feel like living in the woods.
God, you're so dumb. Okay, so there are these. Shut up. There are these things called basic needs, material conditions. I would argue, in any healthy society, if we want the human species to continue, that family would be integral to that. And this is bullshit.
How is the human species not continued forever?
By not having children, moron.
You're all of a sudden saying magically people are just going to stop having children?
People are already stopping having children because of how expensive it is.
It's never going to stop.
It will.
No, it won't.
Right. People will just be in extreme poverty. And then
people are just going to stop having sex?
No, I'm not telling you they're going to stop having sex. I'm going to tell you they're just going to stop having children.
Well, sex usually leads to children, dear.
No, it doesn't. Typically 5%. 5% of sexual encounters lead to children.
You don't get the point, do you?
No, I do get the point. You don't.
People aren't going to stop having sex.
Sure, but guess what? Has the birth rate gone down since the 60s?
No.
Yes, it has. In every country.
How do you explain the population expanding from 500 million to 3.7 billion?
It's birth rate, moron.
And where do these people come from?
The birth rate has gone down.
Where do these 3.7 billion people come from?
Shut up. Birth rate has gone down. You know why?
So what?
You know why?
So what?
Because of birth control.
Yeah, so what?
People have more control over their family planning. And if people decide, I don't want to have children because I don't want to be in poverty, because I cannot afford it, that will have negative outcomes in the future. Because guess what? There won't be workers. Shut up. There won't be workers. There won't be workers. And guess what? Businesses will close. Economies will start to fail. So yes, the labor
So you mean the
people with
economy
the
will shrink
capacity
to the
for pregnancy
proportion of the
provide is
individuals?
essential.
So you mean the economy will shrink to the proportion of the individuals then?
No. I'm saying that sectors of the economy will begin to shut down.
And if there's no people to fill that, then there's no need, is there?
No. Just because there's not people to fill it doesn't mean there isn't a need. You realize, like,
if you don't have
like hospitals, hospitals shut down,
consumers.
but hospitals are still in need.
Yes, I get that. All you have is less consumers, and all you will have is less products being made for less consumers. That's all.
Not every industry is a production industry.
Everything is productive.
Oh,
no, I'm talking about production. Wait, shut up. I'm talking about. Sorry, Ernest, I didn't want to.
No, that's fine.
I'm talking about production in terms of. Shut up. I'm talking about production in terms of not every industry provides a product. They can provide service.
A service is a product.
No, I'm talking about an objective product. like actual material products rather than service. Because I would say hospitals typically provide service. And guess what?
Yes,
if there aren't nurses, if there aren't doctors, that doesn't mean that people need less health care.
They use products in their service.
Oh.
Sometimes, sure.
Things called Band-Aids, needles, stethoscopes, blankets. They use
They
products.
don't give you a stethoscope. A stethoscope is shut up. A stethoscope is not a product. A stethoscope is a tool.
It's a product. It's
a tool. When you go to the hospital, shut up. When you go to the hospital, you're not there to purchase a stethoscope.
No, but it's being used. It's bought by the doctor.
Right, that's a tool. That's a tool. That is a tool, dummy.
All tools are products. You purchase them all.
We're talking about, no, the consumer does not purchase the tools. They purchase the products. No, they don't.
Because when they pay the doctor takes that money and buys the damn tools.
When a consumer makes a purchase, if they're buying a product, they take the product with them.
Yes, and your product.
They don't take the stethoscope with them.
Yeah, but your
the doctor doesn't use the stethoscope and then say, "Oh, here you go. Here's your product."
Was getting healed by a service that was driven by the use of products.
It's tools. This is a distinguishment.
A tool is a product.
Because no, the reason that I'm distinguishing these terms is so that we can understand what we're referencing. Within the economy, when I'm talking about a product, shut up. I'm talking about something that is purchased by the consumer for the consumption of the consumer. When we talk about a tool, we can talk about the business purchasing the product to maintain their service. That is different than what the consumer product is. So no, just because there are less people doesn't mean that certain services won't still be needed, but there won't be people to provide those services.
If there's no people, then they don't need the service. I tried to tell you that the economy shrinks for proportion of the population.
No.
Wait, what grade are you
You're
in
talking
again?
about there's these mythical consumers that don't exist, but yet simultaneously telling me that the population shrinks at the same time.
What is capitalism's goal?
Capitalism?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much, if you want to think about capitalism, it's more or less of product production for use of everybody else.
That is not the goal of capitalism. That is not the goal of capitalism.
What is the goal of capitalism? Give me the Communist Manifesto explanation.
Profit.
And what do we do with profit?
It depends. Typically, profit is hoarded by the wealthy.
We buy stuff. We reinvest in stuff.
No, it depends. No, it depends who has access to the profit. If it's the small business, no. If it's a small business owner who has access to the profit, then yeah, it might go back into the economy. If it is the CEO or a board member of a corporation, then no. Typically, that is just hoarded.
How does the corporation keep going?
Revenue.
Hero.
It reinvests.
Hero.
Most
You don't. No, profit is what you have extra. Profit is what you have extra.
You will say that it's worth $1 billion some odd dollars, but most of that money that you think is money floating there is actually money invested in assets in the company of that value.
I think
right, but profit is extra.
Elon Musk is worth $40 billion, right? That doesn't mean he walks around with it in his vault packed in there going, look at my money.
Right, I know the difference. Right, I know the difference.
Production.
Stop. I know the difference between wealth and income. We're not talking about wealth or income. We're talking about profit.
Yes.
And Elon Musk is one of the biggest products out there.
Get profit? Would you work if you didn't get profit? You're just trying to tell me you want to profit off having a kid.
Wait, you do work if you don't get profit. Yes. Many people work if they don't.
So how dare you ask for money for having a kid, producing that product?
Shut up. People work all the time for money who don't get profit. If you get a paycheck, that's not profit.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's income. It's income.
But it's still stored labor.
It's not profit. No.
Profiting off your labor.
Wait, is his argument that
you're getting income off your labor? Sorry, go ahead.
Profit off
income is profit.
So everyone gets profit off of their labor. That's your argument, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so have you ever gone to university?
No.
No?
I've been working my whole life in industries.
I'm not asking
I've been working my whole life in industries.
Have you ever paid for university? Like, do you know how much tuition is?
Why? Why would I pay?
Okay, for like education, right? So like I took a summer class last semester. It included a lab. So it was about $1,700 for 3 credit hours. If all labor has profit, right? Why haven't you paid Kenzie her $1,700 for giving you a whole econ lecture right now?
Because it's not worth shit.
I'm pretty sure she just did a lot of labor.
Wait,
It
there,
has no value to me.
that's not.
No,
really,
knowledge
there are a
has
lot
no
of products
value
out there
to
that
you.
aren't worth
The most
anything.
honest thing you
It's not
said.
knowledge.
Sorry, Ernesto.
That's not knowledge.
Wait.
1 plus 1 equals 2 is living in fantasy land. I mean, I don't think anybody should be paid for having kids. That makes them not your property. That makes them the product of someone else's labor.
1 plus 1 equals 2 is based on the idea.
So if I can pay for your kids, then I guess I get to tell you what to do with them too.
Truth. So like, even you stating that is like, if you want to make it a philosophical argument, you can. But like,
There's nothing philosophical about base
you're not
logic.
saying what you think you are. Yeah.
Wait,
base logic.
what the fuck did you just say? There's nothing philosophical about logic? That's what philosophy is!
No, I'm just talking. Why should I pay for this knowledge that you have set it forth in front of me?
What's that knowledge?
Because knowledge has value.
How?
And teaching is labor.
How does the knowledge that you're giving me value me? How does it benefit me?
How does it benefit you? Well, you don't want to absorb it.
How does paying you to have kids benefit me?
Because you receive the benefits of society to where you're in a older...
Okay.
I'm answering it, shut up! To where when you're in an older age and can't take care of you, that generation is taking care of you.
They'll always be there. I could
Right,
die
so
of a car
people,
crash.
shut
How
up,
do you know that's
people,
gonna happen?
right. If you're saying they'll always be there, then you are benefiting from people having kids. Because those kids grow up,
been there.
and when you're
they've
old and
always
more
not gotten paid
senile
for
and
it.
more fucking stupid and can't wipe your own ass, even more than you can't now, you are benefiting from that.
What have people done for thousands of years, dear?
What do you mean for thousands of years?
Since the dawn, since the first woman, first egg, whatever, popped a baby out. What have they been doing for thousands of years?
I
people
don't
been
know what
walking
you're
around-
referencing here.
I'm not
Like,
sure what the relevance of that is.
You're
Yeah,
pretending.
because,
You're
wait.
pretending.
I don't know
like
what
this
you're
whole system's gonna collapse if
referencing
I don't
here.
pay you.
I don't know what you're referencing here. Capitalism is not that old of a system.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
No.
Really?
Capitalism originated, I would say, like 18th century.
No, it's been around
Yes.
forever.
Wait.
No,
How
it hasn't.
can you make that claim? How can you make that claim? Do you know do you know it's been around forever?
So if I trade you a basket for a sandal 200,000 years ago, that's not me trading one thing for another. That's not.
But it's not
Socialism.
capitalism, no.
What is it then?
That's
It's barter.
communism.
So if I bet, I have 3 bows and arrows, and you got 1 sword. Which is more valuable?
It depends on what you're going to be using it for and who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I a swordsman or am I an...
Now the sword is more rare, so therefore it has more value because there isn't a bunch of swords around.
What does this have to do with anything?
That's why I would trade 7 bows for a sword.
Okay.
What does this have to
Regardless of
do
what
with
that is,
anything?
that is not capitalism.
And who benefits? Who wants the bow and needs the
That
bow?
is not capitalism.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Define capitalism.
Day in school.
I traded something for somebody willfully in a free, willful exchange. They were able to get
Hero,
more
Hero.
of that.
That's not what that's not the society we live in.
Hero, what's feudalism?
God. Feudalism? Oh, yeah, it was brought on by a lot of state social fascists, that's for sure.
What is feudalism?
What do you think feudalism is? Everybody knows what feudalism is.
I'm asking you what feudalism is.
Feudalism? You're talking
Just
neo-feudalism?
feudalism.
That's being ran by basically a king, monarch, whatever. You're a feudalist. But, okay. And and you know why those people were feudal like that? Because they were taxed to death.
No,
For
I want
everything
you to
they
give
got,
me...
like
Shut up.
government.
I want you to... Shut up. I want you, when you define feudalism, I want you to explain to me how exchange of good and services and labor is produced.
By people transforming their labor into a good or a service. And willfully having control of their own labor.
Do you recognize that under different systems, how goods and services are traded are different?
Do you know why?
That is a
If you
yes.
don't-
That is a yes. So the reason I'm asking you is, do you know what feudalism is? Is because it predates capitalism.
Capitalism has been around forever. It just hasn't been truly defined.
No, no, none of that is true. Give me a
You're
source.
telling me if I go out to the field and I produce a bunch of grain, take it to the market
Shut up.
100,000
Give me a
years
source.
ago, and I put it on a scale,
No.
and I
Shut
trade
up.
it for some
I'm
silver,
not gonna.
that's
No,
not
shut up.
capitalism?
This is no, it's not capitalism. It's not.
What is
We have
it
said
then?
this over and over and over and over. That is
What is
not
it then?
capitalism. Shut up.
What is it
Define
then?
capitalism.
It's the fair exchange of goods and services in
That
exchange
is not
for
how
your own
capitalism is defined.
labor. Oh, geez. How is it defined? You define it for me then. Define it.
Kenzie, you're so smart. You define it. I already know, but you're so smart.
Capitalism is an economic system where capital is owned by the private industry and labor is sold, where goods and services are exchanged and labor is sold in a open free market for the means
All
of profit.
things are labor transformed. Everything is created by labor. Things just don't magically
good
fall out
job.
of a black
Good
hole like a
job.
cartoon.
Well, good job. Like, you're saying nothing. You're saying nothing. You realize the definition that I gave of shut up. You realize the definition that I gave of capitalism is more comprehensive than the one that you did?
No, it's pretty basic.
Do you know what the means of production are?
What are the means of production, dear?
What do you
means of
think?
production?
What does that
You mean
sound
taking
like
labor-
to you?
You mean taking labor in a factory or any other kind of production area, using your labor to transform a product so the owner or the investor in that building who bought all those tools, who bought all those things, who worked their butt off can turn and sell that, pay their employees back after overhead and turn a profit to reinvest into the company to perhaps create more jobs and perhaps create more products for more consumers that they will get it at a cheaper price.
Oh my God,
And
you're so
therefore-
stupid.
Really?
I mean, you actually did not a bad job defining what means of production is. Who owns the means of production and under capitalism?
Well, the head employee of the whole company is basically the owner.
The head employee?
Yeah. You don't think they work?
If you're the head of the company, you're not an employee.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not.
You work. And they even give themselves a paycheck too.
You own the company.
You work.
Doesn't matter.
Just because you work doesn't make you the
You are still
employee.
employed at that company. You are an employee
Not
of that
the
entity,
employee.
of that company.
You're not
Then what are you?
the owner, the
What does the
employer.
owner do? Does the owner not
You're the
work?
employer, dummy.
You're the employer.
But you're still basically an employee, period.
You're not.
You
that
can't be an employer and an
If the
employee.
company and the entity did not exist, then you would not be an owner.
Can I ask you?
You
Can
would
I
not
ask
be
you
employed.
if the owner is an employee, who fires the owner?
No one does. He fires himself by running the company like crap into the ground and making it go bankrupt.
That's I didn't ask anything about company running to the ground. I didn't ask about that. If the owner is an employee, who fires him?
He does.
So no one.
Wait. Would you say employer and employee are synonyms?
Well, they pretty much are.
I see. So if I'm an employee at the company I work at, I'm also the employer.
No, not in that sense. But I'm talking from the employer sense.
Then how are they synonyms?
Then they're not synonyms.
Okay. Well, the employee. Listen, the employee works at the company for the employer. The employer is employed by the company, so he is also or she is an employee.
The company? No. Okay.
Here's the difference. Because capitalism is voluntary. Communism is pressed labor. You're required to work by the state. You're required to give the benefits of your labor to other people by force of government.
That's not what communism is, and I would actually say
Yes,
that's
it
what
is.
capitalism is.
That's what
You know
capitalism
anything about
is.
Russia?
As dishwashers. Have I ever read what?
Dostoevsky or Solzhenitsyn?
I'm asking you for the specific source that says people who worked in the mines made the same. What is it? What is the title?
Solzhenitsyn. Just look up Solzhenitsyn.
You're not giving me anything, are you?
What happened in the Soviet Union was that they tried to do all.
I'm sorry, you're saying
everything
socialism?
Listen here. Everything
No,
lost
I
its
want the
economic value.
source!
Everything lost its economic value. When all
I
labor
want the
was
source!
exchanged for the same labor. Dear, you need a lot.
I want the source. If you've read it, give it to me!
Go on to Amazon and look up any book on the Soviet Union, any one of them.
No, I want.
Because trade was cut off because the United States did not want communism or socialism to thrive. So they intentionally ruined those countries.
No, they ruined themselves.
No, no, that's the issue that China is facing now because they've started to implement more socialist policies. They've pulled people out of poverty and they're trying to negotiate with other countries to have better trade. However, the United States keeps constantly trying to insert themselves or dismantle those agreements because they want them to continue in the global economy, which is structured as capitalist. Because the United States needs to exploit other countries in order to maintain global supremacy, as well as to continue to generate profit.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It absolutely does. Do you like? Do you know what the United States has done to South America or Africa? Like
They don't
how?
do anything to South America. They do it to themselves.
No, oh my
No,
God.
they
Are you
don't.
kidding me? Are you
And
kidding
it's gone
me?
all the way back around to the beginning where this started.
They do it to themselves.
No, they don't. Like now this is just showing you don't know any history. Can you tell me
I know
like
history
why?
very well.
No, you don't. Otherwise, you would know of the conflicts that the United States has been involved in with South America that has literally caused economies to collapse. For you to say they've done it to themselves is so wild and is
How can you make an economy collapse if it's all communism and it's all sustainable?
That is such a complex answer that would actually require some fundamental understanding of communism and of structures of government that I just don't have the time to hold your hand and walk you through.
Plus, you wouldn't pay
Wait
her
one
for it
second.
anyway.
If you really want like literature to read to better understand that, you can read Latin Veins of America. Or Veins of
Yes,
Latin America.
I can read a lot of pro-communist propaganda, always blaming the other side for everything, even though they weren't even involved half the time.
Well, since you
What happened in Venezuela?
The United States
You
happened
tell
in
us.
Venezuela.
You tell us.
No.
Why not?
No, we broke right. We weren't dealing with Venezuela for a long time.
Wait, so there was a time where we did?
Oh yeah, we were doing trade with them.
And then what?
Then communists took over.
And then what?
And what happened was the state took control of all the production. And what they did is they ran production into the ground. And nothing can get produced anymore.
Oh,
The
that's
cost
really
became
weird.
so high for production.
What do you think of China? What do you think about what China's done?
What China has done has been because of NAFTA. Because of free trade.
No. China has nationalized. Wait, no. China has nationalized a lot of the systems within their own country that has pulled
They
800.
did. They're moving away from it because it was dumb and it screwed them all up. Bad.
They pulled 800 million people out of poverty.
Yes. By free trade called NAFTA.
It's not by free trade. It's by literally establishing national
Where
systems.
does everything come in your products? Half of everything's made in China. You're buying it right now. That's free trade.
That is not free trade. No,
And that's what pulled them out of communist depression.
No, it's because they're implementing, like, you realize, like, the Communist Party of China is in control
You
right
think
now.
they would have gotten anywhere if they couldn't sell stuff?
One second. You realize one second. For you to acknowledge that we import a lot of goods of China is you acknowledging that we exploit other countries in order
How are
to
we exploiting them for
one
they
second.
exploit themselves?
I'm gonna ask you a very simple question and you're gonna run right into the point. It's gonna be beautiful. In order for us to gain profit. Why do you think we have manufacturing in China rather than America?
Because there's like 1.6 billion bodies there.
And that means
That's a lot of labor. And cheap labor.
cheap labor. Very good. So we can pay them
right.
less. We can pay them less than American
When you have that many people-
workers.
When you have that many people, labor becomes less value the more you have.
No, the labor is still no.
So tell me, if I have 20 doctors, is their labor worth less than one doctor? If you only have one? Because he's rich.
Well, I think here's where you're missing the point. So if I have a factory and I need 100 workers, why does it matter if those 100 workers are American or Chinese?
It doesn't matter.
Right, because they're essentially doing the same labor, correct? So it's not like the supply and demand does not apply when it comes to this labor. Because
Yes,
no, it doesn't. Just because there's more people in China.
Do they pay?
One
do they
second,
pay
one second.
anybody? Listen to me.
One second.
Do they
One
pay
second.
anybody
Wait.
more
I
for
don't want to get off this point because it's so incredibly dumb and it's really fulfilling my heart that like
Do they pay you? What does minimum wage do to the economy?
It depends.
I'll tell you what it does. When you raise the minimum wage, you basically destroyed the middle class. And how you did that was because you took the lower class wages, you raised them up to basically what those people had worked for maybe 4 or 5 years to get all those raises. And you took their wages right up to there. So you devalued everybody else's wages in that middle area. You brought it down to the same market share as anyone would in the minimum.
Huh.
Right?
Minimum?
So what you did,
So
What you
wait,
did-
wait, 1 second. Wait. Okay. So before you get into your explanation,
the minimum
would
wage
you
is the
say?
minimum wage no matter what.
I just said
You
before
can
you
assign
get
whatever value
okay,
and money
great. Minimum wage bad. Blah 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 blah. Great. Minimum wage bad. Blah 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 blah. We get it. Has let's say like from like the 70s, has the minimum wage gone up substantially?
It's minimum, Kenzie.
Actually, it has. for a while.
Minimum.
But-
What is it? Minimum.
It's minimum.
Wage? Minimum.
The minimum wage. Look, I'm going to tell you, when you raise a minimum wage, what you
Wait,
do.
that's not the question. Has it gone up substantially since the 70s?
No, not really.
No. Okay.
Every
So
time it does, it causes
wait.
inflation.
So it has not gone up substantially since the 70s.
What happened?
Has the has the middle class gotten smaller?
Yes,
Yes.
because of inflation.
That's weird. That's weird that minimum wage hasn't gone up and yet the middle class has gotten smaller. What do you think did that?
Inflation.
Inflation.
Yes.
What do you mean?
What do you think? What do you think communism does? If you're trying to pay you're raising a middle class. You're raising.
Actually, communism would put the working class as the dictator.
It doesn't.
So no, it would actually erase the bourgeoisie
You only put
class.
the fascist government as dictator.
And no, it would put the proletariat would be the dictator.
No. No.
Yes, that's literally the definition of communism.
You may think it's defined that way, but that's not how it ends.
It is defined that way. Communism is a dictator.
Like you can paint a unicorn, but a unicorn doesn't exist, so there's no objective way to say truthfully what a unicorn exactly looks like.
Well, sure, but like
Because
there
there's
is
no living, breathing model to go by. It's only imagination.
great. Like these aren't objective things; these are social constructions. So yeah, when we talk about economic systems, there is theory behind that system. And yes, the theory supports my definition that communism is defined as a dictatorship of the proletariat. That's how it differentiates itself from
It
capitalism.
doesn't become a dictatorship.
Well, 1 second. 1 second. Don't make me yell and scream and say, shut up again. God. And now I feel like I sound like your mother on Mother's Day and I don't like it. Capitalism is where the capitalist owns the means of production. Communism is where the proletariat owns the means of production. So you actually are paid for your labor. Someone does not steal that surplus value.
No one's stealing anything.
Yes, they are.
How is it theft to take what you've earned?
They haven't earned it. That's the point.
You're telling me they haven't earned it? This guy that started a business, that built a factory with one line, used that profit to buy another line, employed more people, used that money again to buy another line, and then created even another line of products and another line. You're telling me that doesn't take any work?
He is stealing his laborer's surplus profit. Okay, so let's say, like, what creates
You can't
revenue?
steal what is yours.
What creates revenue?
You can't steal what is yours.
What creates revenue?
Labor creates revenue, and it's voluntary.
Hey, labor. Who does
You
labor?
don't have to go to work. No one is enslaving you like they do in communism.
Yes,
go
you
to work.
do. Yes, you do. Yes, people have to go to work. This is not an
Everybody
option
has
under
to work.
capitalism. You do
Everyone
not.
has to work.
Correct. Under capitalism, everyone has to work. You are right.
Under communism, everybody has to work.
No, I would argue under communism.
How you're
No,
going to work and what's going to happen with your money. You don't get to
No,
make
I-
choices anymore.
no, I would argue no. Not everyone has to work under communism. Oh, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! No one's here to hear you. No one's here to hear you lecture about
even give them
communism and
voluntary rights.
capitalism. You're stupid. Under communism, no, I would say that not everyone has to work, and I would say that like at most people would probably be working like 15 to 20 hours a week.
And how's that going to produce anything?
Well, I think ultimately as a society, what would be best for us if we're able to free ourselves from certain aspects of labor, and that would be the utilization of technology.
Well, then you would just be the same thing. You would just be freeing yourself from doing any labor. So you would become
Right.
the fascist.
Well, no, because I'm not
Because you're
exploiting.
expecting everyone else to pay for your
shut
stuff
up.
or their labor
up.
to be divided amongst you.
No, shut up. Here's what you're missing. Under capitalism, people use other people to make money. Under communism, we would use technology, i.e. machines, to free us from labor so that
Who's
we
gonna
could
make
be
these
more
machines?
efficient and productive.
Oh, so you mean less jobs? For less people to earn? You think people are just
Yeah.
going to pay? No, it doesn't work that way. It never
Yes,
does.
it does. Yes, it does. Under like technology, under
Who's using
capitalism.
the technology.
1 second. technology under capitalism is not good for the working class because technology replaces their jobs. Like you can see that with the self-checkout, right? The self-checkout is not
replacing labor.
Correct.
Just as you were
Shut up and let me fucking talk so that you can hear and you can understand what I'm saying. Under capitalism, that is bad because now the workers don't have access to labor to make money. Under communism, the outcome of communism is not for profit. It's so that people have access to basic material conditions.
Whose
so that they
labor
can
pays for
survive.
those materials conditions?
No, it doesn't. That's why there are homeless people. That's why there are people who go without food.
Yeah, because they don't work.
No! Because the bourgeoisie class is stealing and hoarding all of the wealth.
That's simply not true.
It is true!
No, it's not.
Wait,
Yeah, it is.
okay, hold on, Hero. If that's not true, why do most nurses make significantly less than like hospital, like CFOs, CEOs, or like bureaucrats when nurses are doing the majority of the labor?
Because they're managing a massive facility and facilitating all those jobs.
When nurses are doing the majority of the labor.
Yeah, so?
Charge nurses are in charge of all the other nurses.
Yeah, but those people that run these hospitals, these administrators, are extremely high-functioning people. Extremely high.
No,
They
they're not.
work massive
They
amounts of
don't.
hours.
They do not. They have
How do
people
you know
that do
that?
that work for them. They have money, so they can own hospitals. That's about it.
You don't think those hospitals require multiple tiers of administration?
Do you honestly think that administrators do more work than the people that they like manage?
They do a lot of different work, and they do a lot of,
That's my question.
dear, they all work.
That was not my question.
What's the minimum that they do?
What, administrators?
Never mind. Just go ahead and continue to engage with Brussels.
I said, do you think that administrators do more work than the people they manage?
As a position that they have, they are in charge
Can I
of
help
a
you?
lot.
That's a yes or no question.
They are in charge of a lot more of that job.
No, they're not.
Really? I would argue, especially in healthcare, like someone who keeps track of like who's working and like is the manager doesn't have as much responsibility as someone that's in charge of someone else's life.
How long did it take them, and much of their own labor and learning and skill, did it take for them to get to that position where they can manage that hospital and make it function?
Maybe
You can
not
say that about
much,
the nurse.
honestly.
How many? Yeah, you can
Nepotism
say that about the nurse. How many hours did they have to sacrifice in college?
Performs certain functions in there. There are many nurses. That's why they're less valuable.
Nurses are in high demand right now. Are you high?
They are, but as a whole, there is only probably a smaller, way smaller handful of administrators than there are nurses.
Why? Why do you think there are less administrators?
Because they're more rare. They have a higher skill set. They learn.
No, they don't. Just have a whole
No, they
conversation.
don't.
They're not
Supply
as
and demand.
necessary as the nurses.
Administration is not that necessary
Necessity
because
doesn't have
nurses know how to
anything
do
to
their
do with it.
job and they know what's
It
required
does.
of them.
Like I told you, the more you have of a thing, the less valuable it is.
You're dumb. That's not true.
That doesn't.
Wait. That literally contradicts supply and demand. If there is a huge demand
that's
for
exactly
nurses,
supply.
shut up! Shut up! Because you're just talking about supply. You're saying like, oh, there's more administrators, therefore they're more needed. No, because that doesn't take into account the demand. There are demand for nurses.
How many people do you think in America can read and write?
I know you're not one of them.
I think illiteracy is like 15%.
Okay, let's just say for fuck's sake, it's 15%. Okay, so do we just pay people just because they can read anymore? But we used to back in the day because illiteracy was way high. So we pay people.
No, wait. No. Do you think capitalism? Wait, one second. Let me ask you a question.
Everybody can read and write. It's not valuable anymore.
Reading and writing is valuable, you moron. That's why we teach people how to do it. Because it's a necessity. Everyone does it because it is valuable.
Yes, but
Let
are
me ask you a
getting
question.
paid?
Do you think capitalism is ableist?
Ableist?
Yes.
Kenzie, I don't know if he knows what that word means.
Just so people
Do you
are
think you
able
need to be able-bodied to participate in capitalism?
Yes, maybe one way or another, or able-minded.
Great. So what do you think people who are disabled should do?
People who are disabled, we do have systems for that.
What is it?
Well, one is called Social Security Medicaid.
Wait, so they should just get money for being disabled?
It's a big difference from just, they weren't.
So you
okay.
believe in a welfare state?
No.
That's what that is!
No, it's not a welfare state.
Yes, it is!
It is basically charitable. People are taking care of that. And we all voluntarily do that. But the fact is, I think most people would agree. And I think universally, most of us would agree that we don't want quadriplegic people just laying on the floor and dying. And they need care.
Right, just like we would all agree, we want people to have children and to have access to health care to take care of themselves so that they can take care of children, and that we would want them to stay home to take care of their children.
But that's not a necessity.
It is!
To pay you because you had a kid, that's a necessity?
Yes, because guess what? The children of today are the laborers of tomorrow. That's why. Shut up. That is
So
why.
who will be paying these bills? Who will be paying this?
The same one that pays disabled people.
Oh, you mean a social security system that everybody has to pay into?
Correct. They would be paid through taxes. But I'm anti-capitalist. So this isn't.
All women are getting paid, and not men. All men would be paying these bills.
Not all women have kids, dummy.
Yeah, but women don't consume more in the social budget than they put in taxes.
What?
If the women are consuming taxes, then they aren't paying in taxes.
You can
Basically,
tax.
I
You can tax
I
their
can't
wage
put
for labor,
$20
dummy.
I cannot put $20 into a hat, pull out 100, and say I paid taxes.
I don't think you get it because your skull is thick and it is empty.
What socialism ends up doing is it ends up making other groups pay for other groups without their labor. You might not agree with it. You might not want to do it. It's not voluntary.
That is literally what capitalism is. Capitalism is where the capitalists take the surplus value of the proletariat's labor. Let's wait. You didn't let me shut up. You didn't let me go through this this thought tree or this line of argumentation previously. You've already acknowledged that revenue is generated by the laborer. So let's say that I work in a factory and my labor generates $300 an hour. Do you think it's adequate that I am paid 15?
Yes,
Why?
because it's your choice to work there, and you choose and you accept that wage. You can go build a factory yourself if you want.
See, so that's where you and I disagree, because I would say that is theft of someone's surplus value of their wage. And if stop, shut up. The system fails. And this is also why businesses go out of business, even necessary ones like hospitals. Hospitals close because they don't make profit, because there are many industries that should not be designed for profit, such as healthcare. But that's another argument. I digress. When we talk about the proletariat owning the means of production, which mean as a worker, with all my fellow other workers, we would own all of the materials, we would own the building, we would own all of the machines, we would own everything. So then my $300 that I generate in labor, let's just say like let's just say 20% is the expenses, which is $60. I would still get paid $240 because that is my labor.
Those are the expenses, though. You don't know.
Yeah, because I own them along with all the other proletariats. We own them.
Fine, you can own your own factory and have your own co-op.
Right. So I'm saying that would be a more ethical system, because then you're actually getting paid for the labor that you perform.
But you can't go use the state to force people not to.
Technically, the state, like under capitalism, isn't how the state would function under communism. Like
That's exactly how it works. The state comes in and tells you, like a slave, what you're going to do and how you're going to do this and how this is going to happen. You are
no, because there is no state. The state is the
Who's going to
proletariat.
enforce it then?
Enforce what?
Who enforces your utopia?
Enforces what?
Who gives things force?
What needs force?
Well, what if people don't want to be in your communist system?
Why wouldn't they?
Because they don't want to. Sometimes people want more.
More what?
Maybe they want to start a business. Maybe they want to run it.
Then
and
they can start a business. They just can't exploit workers to do it.
Well, if it's their business, they should be able to do whatever they want. It's their own damn business.
What business would they
And
start?
when people come into work, it's their choice to work or not.
It's not. It's
No
not
one is
people's
arresting
choice.
them and
Shut
conducting
up.
them
Shut up. It's
production.
not people's choice. Do you want to go to work?
I go to work all the time.
Do you
Every
want
day.
to? Do you want to?
Yes, I have to.
Really? I don't want to go to work.
I have to. Everybody has to work eventually.
Right. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, do you want to?
Now, what if I don't want to? Then I
I'm
don't.
asking you, do you want to go to work?
No one does.
Is that how you
Everybody
want to
wishes
spend
that
your
we lived in a
life?
fantasy land where things just magically manifest.
I'm asking you a direct question. This is not hard. It's a yes or a no. Do you want to go to work? Is this how you want to spend a majority of your life?
It's a BS question because the fact is
It's not. It's not. Ernesto, do you shut up. Ernesto, do you want to go to work?
No.
Brussels, do you want to go to work?
Hell no.
Great. How is that a hard question?
It's a dumb. It's not even real. Everybody.
It
has
is real.
I don't care if
Two
you're.
other
I don't
people.
care if you're a feudalist or farmer.
Chat. Shut up,
Everybody has to
Hero.
work for their stuff.
Hero, shut up. Shut
You
up,
gotta milk
Hero.
a cow to get milk. You gotta
Hero,
fucking.
shut up. Shut up. Chat. Do you want to go to work? Chat, tell me who wants to go to work. Who wants to go to work on Monday?
No one does.
Great.
But you
So
have
you
to.
acknowledge. You acknowledge. No one. You don't want to go to work. Why do you go
What does that
to
have
work?
to do with anything?
Because you don't want to do it. So you're asking me. Wait. Shut up. I'm answering your question. You're asking me. Someone wants to start a business under communism. Why do they? Why do they want to start this business if they don't have to? You don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. People don't want to start businesses.
Sure they do.
They have
No,
to.
they don't. It's because they have to.
Even if you're a communist, you have to run a business. You have to work.
I would say if you're a communist, we can find what actually is necessary for the human experience, because under capitalism, there's many industries that are unnecessary.
But you don't have to participate in them if you don't want to.
Well, I'm saying that they're a waste of human labor. Like if we look at gambling as an industry is a complete waste of human labor. Under communism, that would not exist. The stock market, most of Wall Street, banking, most tax companies. Like that's just off the top of my head. All of those industries we can get rid of,
Look,
and
there's
then people would
industries
have.
that I don't ethically
Shut up!
agree
Shut up!
with.
I'm not done. Shut up! And then we would actually have the freedom to participate in things that are meaningful to us. Because all that shit, that's fucking useless. That's meaningless. That doesn't increase anyone's experience while they're here. Give me a break.
Everybody's worked since the working dawn of time. People were foraging. People
So
were,
what?
Everything requires some kind of work.
So when I'm talking about labor and work, there's a difference here. Sure, I enjoy writing.
Work is work, labor.
Stop! Shut up! I enjoy writing and reading. And if I could live my life as a writer, I would be very happy. But I can't, because that's difficult to be successful under capitalism. I also have to have another job in order to gain income, a job that is meaningless. That doesn't do
You're saying if there
anything.
wasn't capitalism, everybody would buy your book.
No, I'm saying if there wasn't capitalism, people would have the freedom to actually do something that enriches their life and that they actually enjoy. Because we wouldn't have the burden of feeding the bourgeoisie class their wealth by creating useless systems or useless industries that exploit labor. For the pursuit of profit. For the pursuit of profit. It's fucking stupid.
This is what I'm trying to say. What is a useless system?
I've told you useless
You don't have
industries.
to participate in it if you don't want. No one makes me buy
I'm
Heinz
talking as
ketchup.
a human collective. I'm talking as a
I don't
human
like that brand.
collective, not as an individual, dummy.
You're not
There
understanding.
is no benefit to humanity when it comes to the gambling industry. There's none. It's simply for entertainment, so that people can hopefully win more money and then hopefully buy more crap they don't need.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Just like when people want to get
Under
drunk.
capitalism, yeah, it's what they want to do because they want to escape the mundaneness. Because they want to shut up. because they want to escape the mundaneness of their life because they hate the grind. Everyone hates fucking going to work. If you want to talk about like what we've done since the dawn of time, this 40-hour-a-week bullshit is new. That didn't come around until the industrial age when we invented the light bulb because people couldn't work when it was dark. Historically, people have had high periods of labor. Oh my God. Thank you, Ernesto. In short duration, like you said, for farming or for harvesting, and then have long periods of rest, like in the winter.
This is how I picture Kenzie looking at him this whole conversation.
That's not like a side eye. No, I would definitely be like more disgust on my face.
Yeah, I can find a more disgust one.
Dear,
You
everything
know, Chihuahua
is part
looks
of
for
it, and everything you should have. Everybody has the right to do what they want.
No, they don't.
They don't have rights.
No,
People don't
not
have
everyone
rights.
has rights, idiot. Come on. That's like the whole discussion that we're having here.
You think that people shouldn't have the right to do what they want, work what they want, walk around and do the job?
I'm
that they
saying
want?
that people don't have that right here. I would argue that under a system of communism, people would have more freedom than under a system of capitalism.
Capitalism is what freed people.
No, it's not. It's what enslaves people, which is why we all have to go to work tomorrow.
You have to go to work under communism too. But you're told what to do.
Not to wait. No. That's incorrect. Not to the high degree that people under capitalism do.
What if you want more money?
Why would you want more money?
So under your communism, you're not allowed to want. You're not allowed to have more.
So this is
You're
like
not
a
allowed-
capital. Wait, shut up.
Having more or having something different is evil.
No. So this is a capitalist mindset because capitalism essentially ingrains in people that they constantly need to consume and then they need to possess material items that they really don't need.
But it's their choice.
It's not a choice. It's basically social conditioning.
You're telling me that I shouldn't be allowed to want what I want.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that overconsumption isn't a necessity. And you're just saying like, what if I want to overconsume?
Still
Why
your
do you
choice.
want, right. You don't like, I don't know what that has to do with anything. People have this desire to overconsume because that's what capitalism praises, because capitalism requires infinite expansion in order to be successful, infinite consumption. Right now, like we can see in the United States in 2018.
So we should all just stop purchasing anything so everybody doesn't have a job.
I think definitely there's a lot of things that we don't need to produce that are being produced right now. But let's take food, for example. In 2018, in the United States, we threw away enough food to feed 10 billion people. So
Probably.
Let's talk about wasted labor and wasted product.
I can thank your lawyers for that.
It's not lawyers, it's capitalism in general, because capitalism creates this idea of manufactured scarcity. If we have a surplus of food, how are there still people in the United States that go hungry? How are there still children that only get a meal at school if their state allows free school lunches? And it's because they don't have access to money.
Because they're fucking parents.
Okay? It's because of the system in general. Because the
Fucking
system...
parents are lazy assholes that won't feed them.
No, it's not because they're lazy assholes. It's because they're subject to poverty. Like what you said about, shut up. What you said about people who are unhoused, 60% of people who are unhoused have a job. It's not because they're lazy, just wanting something for nothing. It's because the system is stacked against them. Even in terms of like mortgages. Mortgages are designed as musical chairs. The system needs people to default because they are creating money out of thin air.
Mortgages sucks, and the taxes on your property that you built and you own, you can never own it because the government taxes it, so you never really own it. You can never really retire. You have to constantly pay taxes on that home or else you
Not
lose
what
it.
retirement is, and that's completely like derailing the conversation that we're having. The point is that we live in a society post scarcity, yet because of capitalism, there is manufactured scarcity where people still do not have access to housing, where people still do not have access to food, education, the basic material necessities of life. And you're talking about what if I want more? Why don't you fucking think about people who don't have that?
Okay, listen. What if I'm poor and I just want another lamp so I can see at night when I read? That's more. That's what more is.
We're taught. So do you think that everyone should
What if
have?
I wanted to? What if I wanted to?
Shut up. Do you think people should have basic material conditions? That everyone should be entitled to food?
Everybody does.
Wait, no. To food, housing, and water. And clothes.
We do.
No, not everyone has access to those things. We literally just talked about people who are going hungry or who are unhoused. I'm sorry about
This
that.
is an insane argument. Like even in the U.S., like if you're talking strictly about the U.S., right? Not everyone has access to food or water, for that matter. Do you know what like a watershed is?
Yeah, I know what a watershed is.
So you would
Yes,
understand
no.
that like not all water would be clean or like flooding. It can.
You could pick up some water and you could just distill it.
Yeah, you should talk to the people in Flint, Michigan about that.
Well, that's because they screwed everything up.
Oh, they
because
did
the water
really?
companies that like operated their water systems failed to provide them adequate like resources.
It's because those cities, they never put the money back into that infrastructure. Instead, they gave it out in social programs, so the infrastructure failed. They took it from one
That's
structure.
actually not what happened. The
Listen,
city
they
water-
took it from one structure and they embezzled it for other social reasons instead of serving
That's
its
not
purpose like it should have.
embezzling, idiot.
Years and years of union corruption in cities have
Oh, you're anti-union.
completely destroyed infrastructure and cost the taxpayers
Anti-union.
I feel like
Unless it comes to
billions of
cops.
dollars.
If things were unionized in Flint, maybe that like would have.
You know what happened in the old New York subways?
No, we're not.
how
We're
do
not
you go
gonna.
from
Wait,
Flint,
wait. We're
Michigan
not
to New
gonna
York?
derail. You wait. You're not gonna derail to just go on some like random tangent.
I'm not going on a tangent. I'm explaining
You,
something.
yeah, that's all. That's all you do. You just go on fucking tangents.
We don't need
Tell me-
explanation on what happened in New York.
Tell me how
It's the same
capitalism.
It's
Like,
just irrelevant.
do you recognize that people don't have access to food, don't have access to housing?
What are you talking about? There's fat people all over this country, everywhere.
So okay,
There are fat people. You're right.
there's a difference between having access to food and having access to nutrition, right? Like food is like energy dense, nutrient poor. You can still be fat and severely malnourished.
Yeah, you can get vitamins. You could choose to eat something different.
Not if you don't have money to buy that.
Yeah, the point of that is that sometimes people can't choose.
Why? What do you mean you can't go choose to not to eat less, to lose weight, to eat something healthy? You can't choose that?
There are things called food deserts in the United States.
Where?
Yeah, and like Brussels said,
Where are these
Wait.
food deserts?
why don't you Google that? Why don't you Google food deserts and it'll tell you the locations.
I don't think you know what food deserts mean, so
Where can you not go get food in the United States?
that's precisely why I said you don't know what food deserts mean. Look it up, and then you may be able to respond.
No, I don't buy it.
No,
Because-
what is a
I mean,
food? Wait,
you can
Hero,
look-
what is
I
a
can
food
go just
desert?
into my little city here alone, and there's like
Hero,
18
shut up.
things.
What is a food desert?
Obviously, it's in the name. It's probably something you're saying. There's just no food exists around there. It's a desert.
No, that's not what it is.
That's what I said, so look it up, because I know you didn't know what it means.
Okay, what does it mean? Explain it.
A food desert is where someone doesn't have access to a grocery store. I think it's within 50 miles, but it could be 30. So they only have essentially access to like gas stations.
I think it's
highly processed foods.
where 30% or more of the population lives further than half a mile from like a source of food, like a grocery store.
Are you serious? That's your concern?
Yes, when people don't have access to nutritionally
They have
dense
access,
foods,
they just gotta go get it.
Well, if they don't have access to transportation,
What's this
they
word
can-
access? Everybody has
Access?
access to everything.
No, they don't. Do you
How?
wait?
How?
Oh, so where's my Mercedes?
Well, you don't need a Mercedes.
Well, you just said I have access to everything, so obviously I have access to a
Well, you
Mercedes.
could buy a Mercedes if you wanted to. If you wanted to earn the money, you
No,
wanted
you
a
just
Mercedes.
said I have access to a Mercedes.
You
So
could go
where's
get-
my
you could go work, you
Mercedes?
could get the money and you can buy a Mercedes.
That's not access, moron.
That's not access.
What is access?
How do you
Access?
define access? Because it would be more than able to like just be able to like access something. It would need to be accommodating, acceptable, affordable. There are several different components that make up access.
But
If
you
you're
have access-
genuinely
you
interested
have
in it, there's a
You're telling me you don't
PubMed
have access?
article about access by Wazansky. I think it's from 2007.
I thought that's all that capitalism does is an overconsumption of everything, and there's way too much stuff. But you're telling me no one's got access to anything.
Maybe that's like an issue that people are trying to point out.
Hey, you didn't listen to me.
No,
I
I
said that
listened very
wait,
clearly.
stop it. I said that we live in a society that is post scarcity. However, capitalism creates manufactured scarcity.
How?
Because simply because people who don't have capital don't have access.
How?
The product is there, but people don't have capital. Just like with healthcare. People don't have access to healthcare
How do they
because
not
they
have
can't
access to healthcare?
because they can't afford it.
There's Medicaid, Medicare. You have that.
It's very hard to qualify for
Get a job
Medicaid or
with health
Medicare.
benefits.
Again, even if you do get a job with health benefits, you still can have limitations, especially if that insurance does not cover
I
it.
pay my
Shut
health
up.
insurance.
Shut up. Especially if that health insurance does not cover the procedure you need, especially if you don't have the money for the out-of-pocket deductible, especially if you don't have enough for the copay. What are you talking about? You really live in fucking la la land. If you think that people have access to healthcare in the United States, our healthcare system is a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's a joke because it's been run by a whole bunch of idiots that inflated the cost of everything.
Yeah, capitalists.
Via high taxes.
It's not high taxes, dummy. It's fucking privatized insurance.
Everything in the world.
It's not. It's privatized insurance. That is what's driven the cost of healthcare up. You know why? Because capitalism requires profit.
Oh, dear. There's all kinds of things that cause inflation of goods and services. You got to figure that out. And most of it is high taxation.
I just gave you the argument.
High taxation.
High taxation of what?
High regulation, high taxation.
Shut up. High taxation of what?
That's what makes
High
everything
taxation.
go up.
Wait, shut up. How has taxation caused healthcare prices to rise?
Well, because when they're paying more taxes,
Who's they?
The healthcare providers.
How
And
are they
they're-
paying more taxes?
If taxes keep increasing, you're talking, they're paying taxes on payroll, they're paying taxes on everything, down to every single little stupid thing that they even have, every little Band-Aid package. It's all taxed incredibly. You don't see it as the whole amount, how much they are really getting taxed. It's
You
unbelievable.
don't get taxed on expenses.
You don't get taxed on certain things, but you get taxed a lot, one way or the other.
Right. Is a Band-Aid an expense?
You still pay a tax on it. Someone did somewhere. And
No,
it
you
causes
don't.
inflation.
That's what expenses are. That's
No,
why
you
so
don't
many
pay- no one paid
businesses
tax
do
on the glue.
write-offs.
No one paid tax on the glue that they put on the Band-Aid. No one paid tax on the cotton that they used for that. No one paid tax
Not
on
the
the
business,
plastic.
dummy. Not the healthcare industry.
Taxes were paid either way, and it causes inflation.
That's not. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, before we continue on, giving everyone
Yeah.
6 minutes. I will be able to get in 6 minutes.
Well, you guys really, you need to really learn economics, and I suggest learning.
Oh,
brief
don't
economics.
do that.
Yes,
Don't
you
do
do.
that.
You really need an education on it. I'm very sorry.
You really need to learn like what we're
Terrible.
seeing, what
Oof.
components of access are.
You need to learn why.
Um,
You need to learn why.
you need
communism
to
fails.
learn
how to
have
touch
time to
grass.
revert back to
As far as
capitalism. You need to learn
the
that.
people that have been up here, your education is the minimum of all of us.
There's a difference between your education, which you think is an education, is just a damn indoctrination.
Speaking for indoctrination, the one who has red pill in his bio. Yeah, and you're saying that we are indoctrinated.
Oh my god. Red pill.
He has
Your
red pill in his
indoctrination is
bio.
more badder than mine.
There's nothing in there. It's just base logic.
Red pill is not logic. Red pill is men fucking coping hard.
That's a lot of weird men coping hard. I just laugh about it because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Are you a red pillar?
I don't know. I don't even really give a shit.
I know. Like I know knowledge.
I stopped
And
doing that about 14 years ago.
You were
red
really,
pill.
you were caring about.
No, red pill was that old.
We're saying up here, you were crying. You cried more than anybody else on the panel today.
What do you mean?
She said I should go die.
I was laughing at how you think the double standard was justified.
No, I don't. I don't think
standard?
so.
Because
Yeah.
it didn't bother her at all when you told her what you told
Yeah,
her.
I really don't care.
It didn't bother
Like,
her at all.
You think like men tell me that all the time on the internet. I don't care.
You were like, how